the reason I switched away from so many of my hobbies is because my kids got to an age where they were doing tons of activities, and we just decided we were going to allocate our funds, and it was pretty limited, so we're going to allocate our funds towards, club soccer and theater and everything like that, other things they were trying, and so to do that instead, and I think that's what most parents do, is they want to see their kids have an opportunity that they necessarily might not have had. Like I got to play sports growing up and stuff, but it was like the local AYSO. It's not like club, it's not travel, it's not this or that or whatever.
Yeah.
And so we had to kind of make our way. And so that became more of a thing that we did and invested in time and energy and things like that, which was great. Like, I don't regret that at all.
Yeah, no, there's fruits that's come from that as well,
And
so praise the Lord.
The hard work of your kids, and they're not just in on a video game. They're out doing something or doing something active. And I've been a big fan of all of that, which has been really good. And I think the other thing was we didn't maximize, though I love nice stuff. I've never lived for this stuff. I've been more about the experience. So the experience has been a bigger thing because the memory can never get stolen, doesn't rot. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you don't have to dust it and put it on a shelf.
There it is. And so it's one of these things where, like a couple thousand photos of travel and some other stuff has been pretty powerful because it's like, man, you remember this? And you pull up an idea, you pull up a time, or we talk about it. It's like, man, you get to relive that investment of something. Whereas,
that's so cool, yeah.
Like I have a bunch of those Nixon watches in a box in my house because they're no longer in rotation. I was so pumped when I first got those. But for that point, it's
if you want to get rid of any, let me know.
They may just come your direction. You never know. But the thing is, like, then it gets wasted, right? Because it's like just shelved. It's like, oh man, I know that's how it was with Ernie telling me about. It's like, oh, I had this like 3 watches that I really want.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I got all those. They're just sitting in a box in a safe. I'm like, of course they are. He never wears them because he works all the time, man. Guys out there fixing lowrider and doing all sorts of stuff. He never has this fancy watch on.
Man, Scripture tells us, dude, don't build up your treasures here on earth.
There you go.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm looking for that crown so I can cast it back. You know what I'm saying?
That's it, man. And I think there's a balance there, right? So the other thing that we made a decision on was living within our means so that we could really live that and really knock down. We had, school debt and some other stuff from when we were young. Still just knocked a bunch of that off, doing a little bit more of it, as we go forward for graduate degrees and stuff like that. But
love your praise.
Yeah, man, thankful. You know what I mean? It's like you don't have credit card debt on top. You don't have this other stuff and those stuff in the past that we had made decisions on that was bad decisions. You're living, I got it on sale this. Yeah, but you're also paying this percentage on the back end because you didn't pay your note this month.
Yeah.
That's insane. So moving away from that, it's been a lot different in how we do. And then living with generosity towards things like kingdom builders and giving to missions and all those type of things, it changes the game. So yeah, I don't get as much or don't have as much disposable, but I'm doing something intentional that has, eternal value. So thankful for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Several years ago, we decided to do, because I was getting so frustrated at the pre-Christmas purge, right? Because before you bring in all these toys, you got to get rid of all the other toys that they don't play with, just so that they can get the toys, so that they can not play with them until next year.
Right.
I was like, why are we on this treadmill? I vote no, and so I floated the idea of a memory Christmas. And so what we do now is we give the kids an option. We're like, okay, do you guys want a gift Christmas or do you want a memory Christmas? And I think it's the last 4 years they always say memory Christmas. And so rather than spending money on gifts and all of that stuff, any of the funds that we would put towards those gifts, I mean, we'll get them like one Lego set because Legos hold value. They're fun. I still have all my Legos from when I was a kid. So they kind of know they'll get one Lego set. And then what we do is we choose some place to go as a family. And so any of the fun, instead of buying toys and all that stuff, and then that money goes towards just going out and having fun.
That's so cool.
And man, it's been so amazing because so many of those toys are gone, and I'm trying to get rid of the other ones. But those memories again, like they look forward to it. And so this year again, we were like, hey guys, do you want to do a memory Christmas or do you want to do something? And they're like, oh, can we go to the snow? And so that's what we're going to do again this year. Is we're going to go do just a memory Christmas. And we rent a spot. We do like an Airbnb, and we bring our own food and that kind of a thing. We'll go out to maybe 1 or 2 restaurants, but we bring our own board games. And so we just do life in a different place and go and play in the snow and all that stuff. And man, it's incredible.
Super good.
Especially if you don't have too much planned, because then you can relax and you can enjoy it and let it be a vacation.
That's so good.
So we started doing that, and man, it's incredible. I mean, and so I've started to feel the same way about like birthdays and stuff. That why do we have to have so many toys.
Yeah,
so
that's
much
good.
garbage that comes. Let's just go and have fun together.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, whenever I first started, I just recently started reading that 7 Habits book that you gifted me. Thank you so much for it.
Sure.
That reminds me, in the beginning of that book, it talks about a paradigm shift. And I think that speaks directly to that, right? Is the fundamental change of realizing, like, okay, all of these depreciating things that we, like you said, the treadmill of depreciating things that come in and then go out, right? I think that paradigm shift happens. And, we're in the middle of that too. To where we're seeing that every year. It's like, okay, well, we get these 5 grocery bags or garbage bags, and we're filling them up with toys and donating them. And it's great to be able to donate these toys to kids that don't have them. It's such an amazing opportunity for the kids, and then for your kids to learn generosity and not holding on to things, right, but keeping them loosely. But also, this year we'll be doing the Polar Express and staying up in a cabin up in Williams, and we aren't planning on doing big gifts, because we're planning on buying a house, want to save as much money as possible, but also for the same reason of the memories.
That's good.
And I think it happens, my wife and I are in the middle of that paradigm shift of changing our perspective of what is really valuable, right? And the value isn't always found in what something costs, you know what I'm saying? Or like what you have to do to earn it, but rather what it creates long term.
Yeah, it's super good. I love that. I think having that kind of a perspective, it's just not that we're anti-stuff. Stuff is great.
I like
stuff can be good things, but it's when it owns you, and that as long as it doesn't own you, then I think it's a beneficial thing.
Yeah,
and I think it's awesome because they'll always remember, going to the snow or going to Polar Express and having some memories like that. It's super cool, man. And I think that's the win. That's really what it's about, is spending the time. Yeah, we did the same thing with a parental gift. We didn't know what to get our parents, man. They have more than us for the most part, and it's like, what do you buy them? They can go get what they want, really.
Sure. Yeah.
Get them another gift card. But we started building a photo book every year. So I've now built a photo book every single year all the way through. So I've done 18 years of photo books.
That's
so
so
Javen
cool.
just graduated from high school, is in college. And so he has ones from the time he was like 6 months old, because like by then he had Christmas. And then so the first couple was just of him, and then Shiloh, and then so on and so forth.
That's so cool. Yeah, that's so cool.
It's pretty cool. So I'm almost committed now until Amelia hits 18. So we got 6 more years of runway.
You aren't shy with taking pictures either, so it wouldn't be hard to stack a book.
That's very helpful. As long as I have room in my phone, or I tote a camera quite a bit.
Yeah.
As long as we have a camera with us to get some good snaps. And so we build them on purpose, but that's what I have to do, is be thinking as we travel. It's like, we got some snaps here for a second, and build this photo book for the
I struggle with that, dude. I struggle with that.
Yeah.
Like recognizing that, oh man, I should capture this moment so I can hold on to it.
That's why I have Annie.
And
that's so good.
There's a balance there. Like I know, like so often I'm like, oh man, do you have any video from that? No. You have any photo from that? No. I'm like, I'm glad you're very present. I think that's great. You don't want to live on the other side where you're just living through your screen all the time. But man, not having like any memories of it is like rough, because sometimes it doesn't come back in the same way. To see it again, you're like, oh yeah, that was amazing.
Yep. Janae put it to me real, dude. She put it to me real. She, we're looking through some pictures that she just recently had her account hacked, and all of her stuff was hacked into. They did some inappropriate stuff on her account that then got all of those accounts taken down. One of them was her Snapchat, and once you lose access to that,
it's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
So 9+ years of pictures
from Snap,
of newborn baby pictures, family pictures, like all the stuff that you can't get back.
Right.
And it's all just gone. Right. And then she looks at me like, hey, can you send me pictures of this, this, and this? I'm like,
you don't have
I didn't take any pictures of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So now it's another big thing is like, okay, whenever heaven forbid anything ever happens to either the boys or my wife, right? Like they'll have pictures of me and the kids, because my wife does such an amazing job of like taking tally of that stuff. Whereas I, on the other hand, there's very limited photos of my wife and kids, and I'm trying so hard. I say I'm trying so hard, but I'm trying to understand and gain a new perspective in that, to where I'm more intentional about taking those pictures, right? Securing those moments in time. That way, like the kids are young, they're going to forget that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But then they can look back on and see it fondly,
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a big deal. I think even our kids, they've had a different experience, right, than most, and like living around the world and being expat kids. So they've been wheels up. I mean, Javen, his country counts like at 50+, you know what I mean? So he's been around the world. But, he's not going to remember it until he's a certain age. So the pictures of him in all these crazy places, like, doing the fake holding of Pisa and all these other places, like, you don't really remember unless You see the
Yeah.
picture, and then
Yeah.
it starts to prompt like, oh, I remember this, or you have some kind of imagery of what that looks like.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. And I know people are like, oh, when they remember, it's like, dude, if you wait till they remember, you'll never get on that steps necessarily. So it's cool to
That's
kind of, like you guys are doing, like take it right now and have the adventure now, at whatever age they are. And then you can have another adventure later. So
Yeah.
with the assumption that you will go again, it's not just a one and done, but that you'll go again. And if you have that attitude, then it's very likely you will, because you're going to live with that adjustment. You're going to put that in your budget and you're going to save it aside and all those other things. And then you will go.
Intentionality.
You betcha.